Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is Transformers number 2 by Daniel Warren Johnson, color by Mike Spicer, and lettering by Rus Wooton. Johnson's doing both the writing and the art. So the first issue I will admit of Transformers, I wasn't completely blown away by. I thought it was good. I thought there was a lot of potential. But generally, to me, it didn't really do anything super new or interesting that really caught my eye and stood out. There were some slight deviations and differences than the original cartoons beginning, but I think overall kind of stayed to the similar beats. This one is, I think, we're starting to see some deviation. There's some slight differences, and things are kind of dots are being connected, and the groundwork I think is being laid a bit more. It reminds me of a lot of how Void Rivals is kind of was being done. For its first arc, where each issue kind of really built on the world and teased what else is out there. In this case, Transformers is part of the Energon Universe. That includes Void Rivals, also by Skybound, written by Robert Kirkman. And the third pillar of that, as of right now, will be G.I. Joe when it eventually launches, and we start seeing the teases of that. In this case, some of the Transformers come across and deal with a certain future member of G.I. Joe. And we also get in the back our first teases of the G.I. Joe comic already been released as preview. But it's actually, I think, a much improved issue, better than the first. I like it a lot more than the first issue. So this point, we've got the Autobots kind of regrouped, or grouped, we should say, figuring out what their situation is. They're low on Energon. A lot of their members are still offline. They need to figure out how to wake them up or get them back online. And then they're, of course, dealing with the Decepticons. Everyone's a small band. The Decepticons themselves are kind of getting their act together and going to get energy, just like they kind of did in the original cartoon. In this case, though, I think Johnson really kind of sets things apart by putting in small details that make a lot of sense that were not in the cartoon. We got big lumbering robots just kind of going around Earth, they're going to mess stuff up. In this case, Optimus absolutely accidentally steps on something. Cliff jumpers, a little freaked out by humans. There's a lot of, what the hell's going on? They're not used to organic life like this. And there are, I think, reactions that make a lot more sense than the complete acceptance there is in the cartoon. The reactions that make sense are also in the human side of things, in that you've got these big giant robots. People are going to freak out. They're going to go arm themselves, and all hell is going to break loose. And we see that start here. To me, again, totally makes sense, and that's something in the cartoon that I always thought was a little odd. If you got these giant robots and everyone's just oh, okay, cool. No one really seems to freak out as much as they should, and this isn't a global story. Here things they're starting. You got the I don't believe you, and then something happens and it's holy crap. The other is that the Decepticons are pretty hardcore in this. The first issue, they executed people, just Autobots that were offline. They made sure they weren't coming back online. But here, I would chalk it up to maybe low on Energon and saving energy blasts for their guns. Instead, they are literally squishing humans. They're picking them up and popping them, or just stepping on them. Again, makes total sense. They're big giant robots. I don't think they need to shoot people. They literally can just pick them up and squeeze them, and that's that. So, as I said, it's the details. The story itself still is pretty similar to what we saw in the second issue. And this is where I'm talking about Optimus screwing things up. He actually accidentally steps on Bambi and kills Bambi, and then has to kind of figure things out. But to me, there's a lot. It's the small things on this that really starting to make it stand out and get kind of interesting. There's also a lot of teases as to where things are at and what's going on. Here we get Cliff Jumper kind of freaking out, seeing a human being. There's a lot of questions we still don't have answers to. We don't know what's up with Megatron. There's a lot of questions. To me, the second issue I think is far better than the first. It's intriguing. It's starting to answer some questions. Overall, I'm really happy with the direction, and series seems to be picking up. So excited for this. Of course, excited for G.I. Joe when that eventually hits, and where all of Skybound's energy or Energon Universe is going. So far, so good. Well, if you want yours, it is out in shops now. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. It'll tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage, and by doing that, you'll support our site. So thank you for that. If you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy. Keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.